mother brought her dog tonight. We'd like to thank the Laguna Hills Eclipse for walking out with your Los Angeles Blues. Thank you.
USL Nation via Liquid Events TV welcomes you to Titan Stadium for tonight's USL Pro match between the Los Angeles Blues and the Richmond Kickers. The LA Blues are trying to do something that nobody else in the USL Pro has been able to do yet this season, and that is give the Kickers their first loss. The Kickers in second place at 10-0-8 on this season, lucky to keep that streak alive as they scored a 90th minute goal through Shane Johnson to draw 2-2 with Phoenix, as this is the second of 3 games in 6 days on the West Coast for the Richmond Kickers. The LA Blues, meanwhile, come in at 9-6-5. They're in 5th place in the USL Pro, and they are on a 4-game winning streak in which they have scored 16 goals and have conceded just 3. With all due respect, though, you have to keep in mind that 10 of those goals came in 2 wins against Antigua Barracuda. Richmond currently in 2nd place, just 4 points behind Orlando City, but they do have 2 games in hand over the Lions. And speaking of trying to get one over the Lions, the Richmond Kickers, with their 1-0 win against the Harrisburg City Islanders 2 games ago, overtook Orlando City with the record of most games without a loss. That put them at 10-0-7 on the season. So their 17-game winning streak, or unbeaten streak rather, eclipsing Orlando City's, which was at 16. So we're all set for kickoff here at Titan Stadium. As Matt Fondy, the USL Pro Player of the Week, takes the ball alongside Gabriel Gonzalez. The LA Blues in blue, attacking from left to right across your screen, while the Richmond Kickers in their traditional red jerseys will be attacking from right to left. As the Kickers, coming off that 2-2 draw with the Phoenix Wolves, did well to come back from a 2-goal deficit. Goals from Ownby in the 67th minute and then Johnson in the 90th, salvaging the draw. And then after this game, they'll have 1 day off. They'll travel to Vancouver, and they'll face off against the Whitecap Reserves in a rematch from the old USL First Division. Last time those 2 teams had squared off before this season was in 2005. But it's all about the LA Blues and the Richmond Kickers here at Titan Stadium. Can the Blues hand Richmond their first loss of the season? Came close in Richmond back on May 17th. We're trailing 1-0. Scored an 88th minute goal through Juan Perez Bernal, who's on the bench today, and had chances to win it in stoppage time, but were unable to find the back of the net. And while Richmond coming off that 2-2 draw with Phoenix, the LA Blues coming off a 4-0 win last weekend over Antigua Barracuda. And Fondy wins the first corner kick of the game inside the first minute for the LA Blues. Rodrigo Lopez will come over to take. Be an in-swinger from the near side. The LA Blues with 42 goals this season, 14 different goal scorers. As this one swung in, Gonzalez at the near post. First chance of the game goes to the LA Blues. Gonzalez unable to do what he did against Antigua, though. That's opened the scoring. Good signal of intent, though, from the home side. As Dykstra will take this goal kick, and the referee's assistant has his flag up because the ball was still moving. This is Ownby. 29-year-old Cameroonian who came over in 2009 after winning the USL First Division with the Puerto Rico Islanders and going to the semifinals of the CONCACAF Champions League. Russell. Gonzalez turning in midfield. This is George Davis IV. Was looking for Fondy, who has 5 goals and 2 assists in his first 4 games since re-signing with the club. If you wondered why he was voted Player of the Week, well, there's your answer. Release Garcia, former Cuban international, playing after a couple weeks on the bench with an injury. First game in the starting lineup in quite a while, as it was Corey Miller deputizing in his absence. Garcia back in alongside Dutch Jock, who scored his second goal of the season against Antigua on a free header. Oh, the long ball looking forward, but Garcia's there. And safety's first as he just clears it away. Ownby will leave the throwing off. This is Nate Robinson, 23-year-old from Novi, Michigan. Shane Johnson. Callahan. Niazemba. Good movement side to side from the Richmond Kickers. Space for the cross. That's a good ball to the back post. And this is Robinson. Good one-on-one defending in the box from Matt Hall, but he does concede the corner kick. And it will be Robinson to take. In-swinger from this near side. 5 guys in the box for Richmond. And a chance. Top of the box, sprayed well over from Callahan. Some of the Richmond players wanted a penalty. It falls on deaf ears from the center referee, Alejandro Mariscal, who's flanked by his assistant referees, Marcelo Ciancaglini and Mehmet Aksin. And the fourth official is John Heim. Not the best goal kick from Mohamed Mohammadi. Playing surprisingly in place of Carl Wazinski. Gonzalez. Inside for Pizarro, getting a rare start under Dariush Yazdani. Featured prominently under the old regime of Jesus Rico Sanz, but had lost his starting place since Yazdani came in. Lopez into the channel for Fondy. Dykstra's off his line. Fondy rounds him and puts it into the net. 1-0 Blues in the 5th minute. Matt Fondy with his 6th goal in 5 games. It looked to me like for a second like it was going wide, but it went into the corner as Dykstra, not in communication with his back line, ran into his defender, and it was easy for Fondy in the end. Still had it all to do, though, as that ball was bouncing awkwardly. And the Blues with yet another early lead.
LA Blues goal scorer by number 25, Matt Fondy.
Fondy now with 6 goals in 5 games, 2 assists as well. Continues his tear, scored only 3 goals in 19 games for the Blues last season. What will the response be from the Kickers? Russell heads it away. Hint of handball perhaps from Gonzalez, but play goes on. Pizarro, former Kansas City Wizard, looking over the top for Fondy again. This time Ownby able to get back. Shinosky. For Shane Johnson, 23-year-old who joined last season from Real, Maryland.
Let's go, fans. Make some noise!
The LA Blues have had a habit of scoring early goals. Long searching ball looking for Robinson, but Matthew Hall is there. Hall had played every game until last weekend against Antigua, and Dariush Yazdani decided to give him a rest. Wasn't even on the game day roster, Hall, despite being fit. I think Yazdani just knew his opponents and wanted Hall to be fresh for this one. Johnson venturing from his outside back position once again. Robinson. Callahan. Vercoloni. Richmond with some good possession here despite being down 1-0. That's another free cross. Overhit once again, but Robinson's there, able to put it back across goal. Garcia gets his head on it. and George Davis will just push it forward. Chance for Richmond to reset in the 8th minute. Callahan. Good turn from Kalungi on the far side. Pizarro trying to overtake in midfield. And Niazemba with time to turn. Vercoloni gets there before George Davis IV, but Nate Robinson unable to keep it in, so it'll be a throw-in for the LA Blues. Despite having the 1-0 lead, have conceded the lion's share of possession. Matthew Hall creeping about 10 yards forward from where that throw-in was supposed to be taken. Center referee Alejandro Mariscal telling him continue to go back. Robinson trying to chest it forward for Ownby. And Russell once again looking for the strong running of Fondy, but Ownby's there. So a chance for the Blues to get jerseys forward in the 9th minute. Been on the back foot since scoring that goal through Matthew Fondy in the 5th, but it was a goal over the top of a stretched Richmond defense. And George Davis IV will leave this throwing off. Well, it's going to be a long throw in the 9th minute from Jimmy Turner. Johnson gets his head on it. And it's going to be a second corner kick of the game for the LA Blues. Now, despite giving up the goal, the Kickers coming into today with the best defense in the USL Pro have now given up just 15 goals in its 18 games, or 19 games now, with 8 clean sheets. No shutout today for Dykstra, but still plenty of time to play here as we're in the 10th minute, and the corner kick doesn't clear the first defender. Good ball sent back in from George Davis IV. A Dutch jock got his head on it. Flashed it wide of Dykstra's goal in the end, though. But there you see the danger of the center back in the air. Great early ball in from George Davis IV. So the Blues looking a bit more conservative, not really wanting to play that high pressure. Now they step up a bit through Gabriel Gonzalez. And Richmond unable to play their way out of it. Fondy looking into the channel for George Davis IV, but Ownby, who reads the game so well, is over once again. Oh, and what's he doing, Ownby? Putting Richmond in an awkward situation. And Alan Russell wins it back in midfield. Well, that's better clearance from Ownby. Gonzalez has it stabbed away from him. And Robinson rather lost his footing. Lopez gets it back to Garcia. Over to his central partner, Dutch jock, Rodrigo Lopez. Hall looking once again for Fondy on the right side of Ownby. Leaves it back for Gonzalez, who was late in arriving. But that's exactly how they scored their first goal against Antigua Barracuda, the LA Blues. This time Gonzalez just a bit too late to the party. Niazemba. It's a good ball to the far side, but Dutch Jock over and cover. Tremendous defending from Jock. Pizarro. Stolen away by his opposite number. That pass a bit too far for Niazemba. The LA Blues inviting the pressure from Richmond. Finally get it up to Fondy. Such good target play from him. Matthew Hall. Loves to get forward, Hall, but he's been pressed back a bit so far inside the first 12 minutes. And once again, it's that long ball looking for Fondy. And this time, Ownby's just going to shield it out of bounds. 1-0 LA Blues in the 13th minute. Goal coming from Matthew Fondy in the 5th. Mark Serber with you here on USL Nation via Liquid Event TV. Hope you're enjoying our coverage. Warm welcome to you from wherever you may be listening, and especially to those in Richmond. Also want to say a personal hello to Shelly Showers, the GM of the Richmond Kickers and one of the best in the business. Really the heart and soul of the Richmond Kickers organization off the field. Niazemba has space on the wing. It's another cross in. Dutch Jock well positioned. Gave it up though to Arbelayes, but his ball looking back for Niazemba, well cut out by Gonzalez. Fondy. Playing a bit further from goal than Dariush Yazdani probably wants him. Now he's getting forward, Fondy, and so is Matthew Hall. Rodrigo Lopez. In possession, the name of the game for the LA Blues in the 14th minute. Not the best ball ever from Jock, giving it right back to the Richmond Kickers. 4 red jerseys pouring forward. This is Ownby on the far side. Chance to set the table behind Robinson. Johnson in acres of space set up this cross, gets it back to Vercoloni. 1-on-1 against Hall. Johnson, that's a good first time ball in. And it might fall kindly for Niazemba. Rather got his minds mixed up with his own teammate, and now Fondy can break. Fondy 1-on-1 against Shinosky. Still going Fondy, now waiting for blue jerseys to arrive and support. Finds Gonzalez. Gonzalez wanted to have a hit. Now he's taken out wide. Top of the box for Lopez. Oh, tried to flick it on for Fondy. One back by Matthew Hall. Turner on the far side. Never know under Dariush Yazdani, rather Turner or Pettis is going to get the start. Hall pretty much a fixture over here on the right, but on the left-hand side, it's always up for grabs along that back line. Jock. Lopez. Pizarro. Turner creeping up that far side. Nice turn from Pizarro. Looking for Fondy once again. Johnson with the header.
Dr. Bradley Greenbaum is the official doctor of the Los Angeles Blues. Dr. Greenbaum is located in Irvine. Learn more about Dr. Greenbaum.
Yambi to bring it forward in the 16th minute for the Richmond Kickers. Oh, well read by Turner. Eating up ground on that far side, Turner. Fondy in the box. George Davis IV is arriving. The cross left a bit to be desired, but a great run from James Turner, a 23-year-old rookie out of UC Irvine. Turner did so well to step in and then flew down that flank where nobody picked him up. And it was a good ball, and as you could see, Fondy was there, but it was that late-breaking run from George Davis IV that nobody picked up, but the cross just a bit overcooked in the end. And now it's Richmond going the other way. Space for Ownby, wants to have a hit. Dutch Jock got out quickly. Niazemba. Double teamed by Hall and George Davis IV. And it'll be another throw-in for the Richmond Kickers deep in LA territory. Played quickly to Johnson. Vercoloni. Great skill from Kalunji on the far side. Yombi. All 10 outfield players in the opposing half for the Richmond Kickers. Space here for a blast, instead trying to clip it in. Not enough trajectory on the ball to get over the huge frame of Dutch Jock. Gonzalez worked out in the end for Lopez. Lopez really the maestro in midfield. Well, sitting just behind him is Alan Russell, the facilitator. Hall, able to escape the attention of Robinson. Fondy checking back, able to turn. Hall continued his run. George Davis IV is in the box. Beyond him, Turner's arriving though, but cleared away by Kalungi. So I think we're looking for a ball here in the 19th minute. Little stoppage of play, and that actually favors Richmond as they're able to get bodies behind it. Turner asking where the throw should be taken. He has a cannon, though. He can fling this one into the box. And that's why Gonzalez is there. Look for him to try and flick it on. It's over him. Good work by Robinson. Robinson joining from the Michigan Bucks, one of the most decorated teams in the Premier Development League. Has done such a good job of bringing players up to this USL Pro level and beyond. Johnson. Ownby. Callahan. 26-year-old leaves it off for Ownby. Looking forward, 1-on-4. Mohammadi will let it go. Mohammadi keeping it at his feet. Been a bit uncomfortable with Mohammadi at his feet lately, as he's forcing Ownby to come over before he picks it up. But Mohammadi, with that poor clearance against the Dayton Dutch Lions in stoppage time, allowed them to come back and score on a counter. And then we already saw a poor clearance from him earlier today, which almost led to a Richmond counterattack. And the flag stays down as Ownby brings it down. Looking for that half yard of space, was quickly closed down. And what's Mohammadi doing there? Was about to pick it up and then decide he wants to keep it at his feet and make Ownby chase him once again, but it still looked a bit awkward. Ownby looking for his 5th goal of the season. 23-year-old on loan from the Houston Dynamo. As Fondy chasing. Whistled for the foul on Ownby. Ownby's done a good job. Since Fondy was able to find the back of the net, Ownby's done a good job of policing him. Robinson. It's been very prominent in this first half, Robinson, as had Nia Zemba. Kalungi wanted to join the party, but he didn't have an invitation. It's a long throw, and what's the call here? Gonzalez a bit too tactile for the referee's liking. And this is Ownby in the 22nd minute. The LA Blues leading the Richmond Kickers 1-0 on a 5th-minute goal from Matthew Fondy. Oh, poor giveaway to Nia Zemba. Needed to get that out wide quicker to Arbelayes. But instead it's Fondy. Gonzalez, George Davis IV making a great run underneath him. However, the ball stays in the midfield. Turner rather popped it up. And it's Ownby once again winning that battle with Fondy. Robinson. Ownby. Oh, that's a late tackle. And Alan Russell's going to get a yellow card, and rightly so. I could hear Alan Russell say to Alejandro Mariscal, that was just my first challenge. Still, it was pretty late and from behind. Mariscal not done with Alan Russell. And you can see that finger up saying, just my first challenge. Still pretty reckless, though, from the captain. Richmond wanting to get this game back underway, and Mariscal still writing Alan Russell's number in his book. Garcia able to clear. Robinson wins it right back. Finally settled after a bit of head tennis in midfield. And Shanoski chasing. 21-year-old in his third season out on loan from DC United. Spent 2011 with the Harrisburg City Islanders and last year in the NASL with the Fort Lauderdale Strikers. Oh, and Turner and Mohammadi almost having a mix-up at their end. Turner able to scramble it clear. Only as far as Callahan, who wins it back in midfield. And that's going to be another free kick, as Turner went clattering into Arbelias. A 22-year-old Colombian rookie out of Virginia Commonwealth University looks to be all right. But it's another chance for the Richmond Kickers to swing this ball into the mix in the 25th minute. Plenty of chaos at the top of the box. And once again, the whistle will go as the referee wants to have a word with a few of the players.
Harrisburg City Islanders will be at Titan Stadium on Saturday, August 3rd at 7:30. Purchase advance tickets tonight for only $10 at the Blues fan table.
Now the referee saying that he wants this free kick moved back. So we'll resume play in the 26th minute. That's a good ball in, and the header goes wide of Mohammadi's goal, but the whistle blown for a foul. So free kick for the LA Blues, who have the 1-0 lead courtesy of a 5th-minute goal from Matthew Fondy. Mohammadi, the 35-year-old goalkeeper. One cap for Iran. This time the foul will go against Richmond. Not really sure what the referee's calling there. It looked to me to be shoulder to shoulder. But it's a free kick in a very dangerous position for the LA Blues. The fact that Garcia and Dutch Jock are staying back, though, makes me think that the Blues might think about playing this one short. You do have Gonzalez and Fondy in there, and it's clipped in all the way out wide towards George Davis IV. Looking to get to the byline. Gets around Robinson, who does well to track back. But it will be a corner kick for the Blues. Great defending from Robinson, though. Looked like he was beaten. Did well to recover. Oh, it was a great free kick sprayed out wide. Everybody expecting in the box. Instead, it went out wide to George Davis IV. Nobody picking him up, drifting out towards the touchline. The ball played in. Dykstra missed it. Russell might get underneath it. Russell to hit it. Too many red jerseys in the box. Russell tries to put it back across. Oh, the Red Sea never parted. And Richmond able to clear. Good hit from Russell, though. He got all of that. And had it found its way through, it might very well be 2-0. So another long throw from Turner in the 28th minute. Alan Russell making his way into the box. And this one over everybody. And this time the Blues will be whistled for a push. Not much contact being allowed by Mare Skal. At least he's being consistent, though, calling it for both sides. As Richmond were whistled for the same kind of thing in the box at the other end. Johnson. Vercoloni. 31-year-old's ball doesn't reach Robinson as Matthew Hall intervenes. George Davis, the force throwing. We'll leave it off for Matthew Hall. Hall from the Commonwealth of Virginia. Virginia Beach, to be exact. Oh, lovely little flick on. Beautiful one-touch soccer, but Fondy couldn't fight his way through the two defenders. And it rolls out to Dykstra. Ball looking for Ownby. Oh, and Garcia slipped. And Hall gets over well. Shouts for a penalty will fall on deaf ears as Hall did get the ball first. As it remains 1-0 LA Blues on the half-hour mark. Fondy's goal coming in just the 5th minute. His 6th goal in 4.5 games. Dykstra. Callahan checking in. George Davis IV will harry him. Ownby. 2009 Defender of the Year, swings it forward. Too far for Arboleza, though. Niazemba. Able to cut inside Russell. Ownby, top of the box. Bought down by Lopez. And it'll be a free kick for the Richmond Kickers in a very dangerous position. Good work from Niazemba to open up that space for Ownby. It was great running off the ball, too, as Arboleza left the space and Niazemba took it. Then able to cut inside and find Ownby, and Ownby bought down by Rodrigo Lopez, who got in a good first tackle, but it was the second one that was flagged by the referee. So can the Richmond Kickers find the equalizer on the half-hour mark via the set piece? This one screaming to be hit first time. Mohamed Mohammadi dancing across his line, setting up his wall. He's going to have to be alert here. Three players presiding over the set piece. Looks like it's going to be Niazemba. He's going to leave it off. And that's one the Richmond Kickers would like to have back, I'm sure. LA Blues can breathe a huge sigh of relief, as Mohammadi didn't even have to move. So Mohammadi taking his time in the 32nd minute. Gonzalez beaten to it. Robinson, Ownby running off him. Looking out wide just behind Arabeles. Arboleza, beg your pardon. Johnson. Robinson. Bit more centrally now. Well cut out by Alan Russell. Ownby in the 33rd minute for Richmond. You have to think that Robinson probably has the most touches of any player out there. Certainly for those in the Richmond Kickers jersey. Kalungi. And Turner gets there first before Arbelias. And then off of Richmond last, so it'll be a throw in for the Blues in front of their own bench. Turner trying to sneak forward. The referee's having none of that today. Turner launches it down the line. Good header from Kalungi. Niazemba gets there first. And they're able to switch the ball for Robinson. Shane Johnson on the overlap. Robinson looking to the far side. Good one-on-one defending from Turner. Pushing it forward into the space, but nobody making that run out to the wing. The ball given right back to Richmond. Ownby. Space for Vercolone to pick out a pass, and he does well. It's a great ball out wide, but the cross leaving a lot to be desired once again, as it's that final ball that's letting down Richmond at the moment. And in the end, just another goal kick for Mohamed Mohammadi. Fondy with space to run. Out wide for Gonzalez. Gonzalez cuts inside. Back to Fondy. Has a half yard of space. Johnson did well to slide over and get in the block. Niazemba. Richmond attacking at pace. And perhaps a bit too fast as that ball overcooked. Too far ahead of Robinson. Fondy smartly brings it down. Off the chest again for Gonzalez. Turner gets a touch. Bizarro joins in on the action. The ball in from George Davis, the fourth, wasn't the best, and Richmond overtakes. Inside the final 10 minutes of first half normal time. As Vercolone rescues what could have been an awkward situation. And now Shane Johnson slips. Far side for Fondy. Can he catch up to it? Fondy brings it down, looking for the far post, takes a deflection, and will roll out of bounds for a corner kick. Well, you wonder about this pitch. The LA Blues sister club, the Pally Blues, just won the Western Conference Championship in a 2-0 win over the LA Strikers on this field a few hours ago. And you can see some divots in the field, and that's exactly where Johnson slipped. So another corner kick for Rodrigo Lopez in the 37th minute. Lopez with 8 assists on the season. So once again, Mariscal not happy with the handbags in the box. Oh, and it's played low, top of the box for Davis. Deflected to the far post. Another corner kick. But something straight from the training ground from the LA Blues, and it almost came off in real style. And this time it'll be Turner's chance to take in the 37th minute. Turner capable of whipping in a good ball, has 2 assists this season. Also created an own goal from a free kick against Charlotte last month. That is a good ball. Jock is there. Headed away. George Davis, the fourth, wants a hit. Another big block. Allen. Good ball to the far post. Russell's there. Alan Russell with a great ball in. Fondy trying to head it back. Dutch Jock was there. The foul was called as Dykstra got it. So that ball came into Alan Russell. Whipped it in. Plenty of pace. Perfect trajectory. Fondy called for going over the back, though, as he tried to head it across to Dutch Jock. But Dykstra got down well to smother the ball. Callahan. 26-year-old has been with the club since 2011 after joining from the Austin Aztecs. And Pizarro wins it on the far side. Fondy wanting to run 1 against 3. Now smartly holds it back to bring more players in. However, George Davis IV wanted to do exactly what Fondy decided not to. Does win the throw-in, though. And the Blues will have it in midfield in the 39th minute. And once again, it's that long throw from Turner. Gonzalez brought it down well. George Davis IV, devastating inner passing. Davis IV! Dykstra looked like he might have had it covered. Still well hit from the former Kentucky man. And once again, the referee's not happy with the fact that the ball wasn't completely stopped in the box. That is the rule to the letter of the law, but you think you could let it go a little bit maybe. And then Dykstra slamming the ball down, making absolutely sure. Kind of lucky he didn't get a yellow card. I've seen them given for less. Not that I think there's any reason to give the yellow card, but referees can be quite sensitive these days. Robinson. Ownby screaming for it, and he gets it as he makes his way into the offensive half. Pocket of space opens up for Robinson. Smartly out wide to Ownby. What can the Dinamo Loni do here? He gets it back to Johnson. It's not a bad ball in. Smartly cleared away by Turner. Only as far as Kalungi. Oh, and well stepped in twice by Pizarro. And Fondy going one-on-one against Ownby. Has Gonzalez on the far side. Gonzalez waiting for players to arrive in the box. Picks his head up. Clips it to the far post looking for Russell. Oh, and you could see what he was trying to do. Put it back across goal. Still, though, great patience from Gabriel Gonzalez to pick his head up and find that space and wait for that late-breaking run of Russell, who nobody was picking up. Robinson once again. Ownby trying to combine with him. Closed down by 3 defenders, but it opens up the space for Vercoloni. Ownby. Niazemba on the far side. Able to cut inside Turner. And Turner whistled for pushing him as he made the cross. .30-year-old Niazemba scored the first ever goal in USL Pro history from the penalty spot against Orlando City. He's been with the club well before then, off and on, when they were in the old USL 2. Was Richmond's 2008 Rookie of the Year. Then re-signed in 2011 from FC Tampa Bay. He has a chance to swing it in here. Ownby's up from the back. Doesn't clear the defender at the first post in Pizarro. However, his header right back to Niazemba, puts it over. Too deep. Ownby frustrated, he couldn't get to that. Still, though, you can't really blame Ownby there. That one put too deep. If that's 2 yards back, it's a tap-in for the Cameroonian. 42nd minute now. Goal kick for the LA Blues, who have the 1-0 lead courtesy of a goal all the way back in the 5th minute from Matthew Fondy. Mark Serber with you here on USL Nation via Liquid Event TV. Is Fondy looking for a second? Looked like it was angled more toward George Davis IV, but he fell over. and Fondy whistled for another push. Reminder, you can follow USL Nation on Twitter at UNation and Liquid Event TV at Liquid Event TV. Like both of them on Facebook as well. Oh, Robinson trying to turn Hall. Hall stepped in, and Robinson rather made a meal of it, and Hall didn't like it. Hall inside for Lopez, not his best ball. Gonzalez usually doesn't get beaten to those balls, those lanky legs, but Richmond's been doing well to shepherd him today. Ownby. 23-year-old with a bit of a heavy touch, and that's tremendous defense from Rodrigo Lopez. What a touch to flick it over the foot of Ownby and back to himself. Fondy defending from the front. That can't have been comfortable as Fondy rubbing his face. Robinson. Can Richmond find the equalizer before halftime? Not if Hall has anything to say about it. Johnson has time to set up his cross. Instead plays it inside. This is a good run for Vercoloni. Garcia was well positioned. However, the Blues just clearing it without a purpose right back to Ownby. He can send it right back into the mix. And George Davis IV getting back and doing some defending, but it's a corner kick for the Richmond Kickers in the 44th minute. It's going to be an outswinger from the far side. That's a good ball in. And 3 Kickers players were in the vicinity, nobody talking, and they all left it for each other. And it goes all the way through to Ownby. Still not out of the woods yet, though, the LA Blues. It's Robinson trying to get to the byline. Hall won't let it happen, and Pizarro coming over to double. And perhaps Robinson a bit too fancy, could see what he was trying to do there. But Pizarro and Hall were never going to get split. So we're in the final 20 seconds of first half normal time. Can't imagine there'd be too much stoppage time either. There was that goal in the 5th minute, but no substitutions and no real long injury breaks. So the clock has struck 45 minutes here at Titan Stadium. Fondy crowded out. Still able to get it through to Gonzalez. Good ball to the far side for Turner. Nobody's picked up his run, and he whips it in just over the head of Fondy. But once again, a good early ball in. And Ownby's gotten the better of Fondy on most of these occasions. Whoa, and well over the top there. And the trainer being called out right away for Alan Russell. And the 32-year-old Scotsman and the captain, the only player to start every game for the LA Blues this season. He looks to be okay, although he could have gotten raked by his cleats across the top of his head. And he's being told to sit back down. Because even Mohamed is coming out to check on him. And if we weren't going to have stoppage time before, we're going to have it now. So you hope that Russell's okay. 32-year-old who started in the Rangers youth system before embarking on a long career in both the Scottish Premier League and the Scottish First Division.
A round of applause for our captain.
Came over to the U.S., played with the Carolina Railhawks before joining the LA Blues last season. The good news is that he looks to be okay. Has to come off, though, for a second, though, as the trainers did come on the field. So we'll wait for permission to come back on from the referee. As this one swung in, Gonzalez and Fondy trying to get their head on it. And it hit off a Richmond Kicker player last, so it's going to be a corner kick.
That's a corner kick. Come on, fans.
Can the Blues steal a second goal before the two teams go into the locker room at the interval? Russell back on. He's sneaking in toward the back post, but this one played it right at Vercoloni. And that will be the last action of the first half. So good even affair, mostly box to box between the LA Blues and the Richmond Kickers, but the Blues were able to breach the Richmond Kickers back line early on in the first half as a long ball over the top, catching the Richmond back line asleep. And Matthew Fondy walked in as Dykstra collided with his defender and put the ball into the empty net for his 6th goal in 5 games. And at halftime, it's the LA Blues 1 and the Richmond Kickers 0. We're going to take a break here up in the booth, but we'll be back with you for all the second half action on USL Nation via Liquid Events TV. All set for the final 45 minutes here at Titan Stadium between the LA Blues and the Richmond Kickers. LA Blues with a 1-0 lead courtesy of a 5th-minute goal from Matt Fondy, trying to do what no other team has done this season, and that's hand Richmond a loss. This is a Richmond team that can come back, though. Was down 2-0 at halftime versus the Phoenix Wolves on Friday night and came back and scored 2 goals in the 67th and 90th minute to salvage the 2-2 draw. And for Richmond, this undefeated streak is made even more impressive by the fact that this is their 7th of an 8th game road trip. Is Turner trying to step inside? And that's good defending. Well shielded out by Alex Lee, 23-year-old coming on at halftime. Was with FC Dallas last year, Alex Lee, but didn't make any appearances. But getting back to it, Richmond playing their 7th of 8 games on the road, and this is their 2nd of 3 games in 6 days. This will be almost a month away from home until they return back for July 28th meeting with VSI Tampa Bay. Ownby still going. Alan Russell able to do just enough. And Russell going down is something behind the play. Russell still in some discomfort, but play goes on with Nelson Pizarro in the center circle. And now Russell screaming at the assistant referee as he was caught on a late challenge. And it'll go out of bounds for a goal kick for the Richmond Kickers in the 47th minute. Mark Serber with you here on USL Nation. So we'll get back to that in a second as Russell still screaming at the referee. He'll get a talking to. He's on a yellow card, so he's got to be careful, Alan Russell. Kulungi. Long searching ball forward. And this time Russell wins the free kick off of another substitute Delicat. Well, in fact, it's going to go the other way. Once again, I'm not really sure what the call is from Mariscal. He's done it both ways. Contact has been minimal in this game, though, and yet Mariscal keeps blowing his whistle. And plenty of changes being made by Richmond at halftime as now Davies is on as well. The 22-year-old got his first cap for the full Canadian national team in January in a 4-0 loss to Denmark. That's a good ball in from him as well. Gonzalez able to get it clear. Up to Pizarro. George Davis IV going forward. Pizarro rides the challenge. And it's 2-on-3. Back to Pizarro. Was kept onside by the center defender. Unable to get his cross off. The ball stays in, is won back by Robinson on the far side. And now Pizarro goes down. Lee continuing forward. Waiting for options. And that's a late challenge from Rodrigo Lopez. And now a yellow card showing to Lopez, who's saying the same thing happened all the way on the other side. And Pizarro's still down behind the play. So plenty players on both sides very frustrated with Alejandro Mariscal at the moment. Now both Lopez and Russell on yellow cards in the midfield for the LA Blues. That's another free kick from a dangerous position on a needless foul from Rodrigo Lopez. And we just saw the kind of quality service that Davis conceded moments ago. So another opportunity for Philip Davies. Davies making his 13th appearance after joining last season from the Vancouver Whitecaps. There's some confusion along this LA Blues back line as they try and find their marks at the top of the box. Behind the play, Pizarro finally helped off the field. And I think that the trainer mentioned to the coach that they're going to need a substitution. And coming in is Chris Cortez. Missed the Antigua game through injury, Cortez. The 24-year-old has 6 goals this season as the other ball swung in. Cleared away. Davies with the quick throw-in. Good skill from the Canadian. Space for Alex Lee. Looking to the far side. That's a powerful header directed goalwards, but not on target. And it will be a goal kick for Mohamed Mohammadi in the 51st.
Blue Soccer USL Pro, Community Youth at-Risk Program, District 1 in Los Angeles. Since 2006, creating opportunities and transforming lives in unreserved areas for our youth.
I want to say hello to Evan Mundine listening in. Hope you're doing well, Evan, and enjoying the game. A warm welcome to everybody listening in wherever you may be, especially to you Richmond Kicker fans back in Virginia. Hope you're enjoying our coverage on USL Nation via Liquid Event TV. Lopez to float it in. Fondy's up. So is Chris Cortez, but it's Richmond who win it. Ownby given time to make the clear. I believe Delicat's in as well, and we don't get any confirmation up here in the booth, but if that's the case, it's been a line change made by the Richmond Kickers to start this second half. Lee, Delicat, Davies, all in. Kalunji has shifted to center back alongside Ownby. Long ball looking for Delicat. Both teams rather playing it over the top, but without much success. And it's Ownby to push it forward. Perfectly weighted ball to the far side, but a missed touch. Gifts the ball right back to the LA Blues. Looking long again for Fondy, able to bring it down and whistled for a foul. And that's what I'm talking about. It's been ticky-tacky all day from the referee. Richmond have been on the receiving end of it as well. This time he was saying it hit off Fondy's arm, though. Fondy flicks it on for George Davis IV. And that's a foul behind the play.
We have our first winner tonight. The ticket number 1147. 1147. Congratulations. You just received dog training from Amy at Custom K9 Training.
Rodrigo Lopez has Fondy defined in the box, as well as Gabriel Gonzalez and Chris Cortez. Cortez flicks it on. But over Dykstra's goal, nothing doing in the end. It remains 1-0 in the 55th minute. Good chasing from George Davis IV. Nothing to concern Kalunji in the end, though. It's the Ugandan international, gets it out wide. Shinoski. DC United loanee who had 8 caps for the U20s. And Shinoski once again. Bit of space opening up for Richmond here, but Cortez did well to win that ball. Then he was taken down from behind, and the foul goes to Richmond. Cleared away by Dutch Jock. I thought Cortez got all ball first. And it'll be a corner kick for the Richmond Kickers. Six players in the box for the Kickers. That's a good ball in. Ownby gets his head on it. Mohammadi is up. The whistle had blown. And this time the call's on Richmond, and I didn't see anything there. Well, it's a free kick for Mohammadi in the 56th minute. Cortez wins the first header. George Davis IV trying to bring it down. And Kalunji picks his pocket. Garcia stepping in. Gonzalez to go the other way in the 57th minute. I'll try to push it on for George Davis IV just in front of him. And that's a great ball across from Veraconi. Into the channel for Fondy. It's another one-on-one battle against Ownby. Oh, and Ownby slipped, and Fondy looking for that near post. Good flying save from Dykstra. Lee. Vercoloni. 31-year-old squared up to by Turner. Gets it off to Ownby in the channel. It's safety first from Alan Russell. Oh, and which way is this going to go? The way of the Blues. The LA Blues have made Titan Stadium a fortress this year. 6-2-2 at home this season. Have 7 clean sheets. 6 of them have come at home. And if they can keep another clean sheet here tonight, then they will hand Richmond their first loss of the season. Still plenty of time to go, though. Over half an hour here at Titan Stadium. And Richmond have looked dangerous. Well, and this time the referee was playing advantage as Garcia went down, and then he bought it back. And talk about the 6 clean sheets that the Blues the 6 clean sheets that the Blues have recorded at home. They've only given up 6 goals in their 10 games at home so far as this season as well. So very staunch defense here at Titan Stadium. It's a far cry from last year when the Blues were 4-6-2 at home. Need to win your home games if you're going to make the playoffs in the USL Pro. As Delicott wins the foul. So after this, the Blues will head on the road for 2 games in the Carolinas against Charlotte and then Charleston. And then they'll be home for the final 3 games of the season against Harrisburg on the 3rd, Charleston on the 8th, and Rochester on the 17th. This is ball flicked on, looking for Vercoloni at the back post. Dutch Jock policing him. Vercoloni able to get around him. Gets it onto his left foot, puts it back for Delacotte to the far post. And missed touch, but the offside flag was up. Referee waves it off, though, as the ball goes into the arms of Muhammad Mohammadi. Oh, Fondy was trying to play it inside either for Gonzalez or George Davis IV. Instead, it's the throw in for Vercoloni. Chinoski will get it back. Shane Johnson on the far side. Score of that 90th minute goal to steal a point in Phoenix. Long searching ball over the head of Vercoloni. And James Turner might have done better to let it go. Instead, it's going to be a throw in deep in the LA Blues end for the Richmond Kickers, as Lee is creeping all the way up from his outside back position. And now he, like Turner, is going to look to launch this one into the box. Lee asking for it short. Gets his wish. Not the best ball back, has to bring it down on the chest. Time to close him down. Now space for Davies. Kalungi. Lee looking to set the table. Oh, it's a good ball in. And Cortez gets up well. Ownby beats Fondy to the ball. Missed touch from him. And the break could be on here for the LA Blues. And it was sprayed to the far side. Looking for Cortez. Still might work out for him. Good tracking back from Johnson. Alex Lee to bring it forward on the 62nd minute mark. Richmond playing from behind for the second straight game. Trailing 1-0 to a Matthew Fondy goal in the 5th minute. As this ball swung in, Delacotte at the back post. Oh, and Dutch Jock and Muhammad Mohammadi, a lack of communication as they both let the ball sit there for a minute. And Delacotte, the 2009 USL scoring champion, still looking for his first goal of the 2013 campaign. Gonzalez, he can hit him from here. Nothing to concern Dykstra in the end. Lee being invited to bring it forward in the 63rd. It's all a bit stagnant in front of him. Space for Ownby. Lopez coming in, smart not to try and tackle him as he's on a yellow card. Oh, and that's a good reverse ball to Johnson. Puts it across the danger area, but behind everybody, and it will go out of bounds for an LA Blues throw-in. Ownby bulldozes his way into the box. Cross is cleared away by Alan Russell. There'll be another throw for the Richmond Kickers in the 64th minute. Still looking for the equalizer, but they've had the majority of the possession in the Blues half in the second half. But another poor cross letting him down, this time from Alex Lee.
Fans, don't forget to purchase your raffle tickets tonight for the 50-50 raffle at $2 a piece. At the LA Blues fan table. While you're there, check out our beautiful merchandise. Hats, ladies' t-shirts, men's t-shirts, and pullovers. Thank you.
It's Mohammadi taking his time in the 65th minute. LA Blues looking for their 5th straight win. And that coming after a 5-game run without a win for the LA Blues. So under the tutelage of Dariush Yazdani, they've really been able to turn their season around. Still plenty of time, though, for Richmond to find the equalizer. 25 minutes plus change left here at Titan Stadium. And it's been all Richmond Kickers in the second half. If not in terms of chances, then certainly in terms of possession. As the offside flag is up, Alejandro Mariscal hasn't seen it yet. And now he looks to the far side and notices his assistant referee. So another attack peters out for the Richmond Kickers. Elise Garcia back after a few weeks out with a hamstring injury. Davies. Lee once again has seen a lot of the ball since coming on as a second half substitute. Ownby. Oh, beautiful triangle passing from the Richmond Kickers. Davies is the outlet ball. Switched over for Johnson. Cortez wins the header. But once again, it will remain with Richmond. Russell. George Davis IV. Rodrigo Lopez looking to push the envelope in the 67th minute. Gonzalez has Cortez out wide. And good defending from Ownby, who gets there first. Chris Cortez is going to leave this throwing off from Matthew Hall. And Cortez is going to turn 25 on the 24th when the LA Blues will face off against Charlotte in North Carolina. So happy early birthday to him. It's Cortez trying to turn Johnson. And good double team defending from Richmond, able to get it out. Only as far as Lopez, neatly chested down for Alan Russell. Hall with the early service. Oh, and Fondy wasn't expecting it. Shinosky, little touch out wide. And George Davis IV getting over well, not allowing Johnson to get his ball forward. But it will be another thrown for the Richmond Kickers, trailing 1-0 in the 68th minute. So far, Matthew Fondy's 5th minute strike, the only thing separating these two sides. Seems, though, for the moment that the LA Blues are content to concede possession and defend. Blues should be much more well-rested. Haven't played since their July 13th victory at home over Antigua. Meanwhile, Richmond played just Friday night. Fondy. Oh, and that's a dangerous ball. Lucky that Robinson didn't get a good first touch on it. Otherwise, he could have been off to the races. Gonzalez. Here's the overlap from Hall. Really the first time he's been able to get forward in the second half. And the Virginia native will play it back. And what Lopez wanted to do there was actually swing it in. Hit it too far, and then Dykstra. Awkward for him on that trajectory. As the substitution's going to be made by Richmond. And it's going to be Vercolone to come out. Some former New England Revolution man's night is done in the 69th minute.
Substitution for the Richmond Kickers. Leaving the game, number 4, Luke Bulow. Into the game, number 10, forward David Bulow.
And coming in is David Bulow, the 33-year-old who's played just 4 minutes this season.
Let's go, fans. Where are you? Make some noise!
So Turner to take this corner kick. Played well behind everybody. Russell's there, though, a chance to swing it back in. That one too deep as well. Now, the quality of the services tonight really hasn't been good for either side. Oh, good pressuring from George Davis IV. And Turner wins the header. Lopez with the sliding tackle. I think that time the whistle could have gone. Instead, we remain here in the 71st minute. Miscue from Alex Lee. Good battle with George Davis IV. Quickly takes the throw-in. Bulow, 33-year-old, has options out wide. Velvet touch to bring it down on the far side. Good ball back into Bulow. Well stepped in from Elise Garcia. And then good tracking back on the double team from Rodrigo Lopez. Still plenty of space to push forward here for Ownby. Hall doing the defending on the far side. Good cross. Bulow at the back post. Puts his header right into the arms of Mohamed Mohammadi. Really should have done better there. Fondy's hold-up play has been so strong today. And that ball just a bit too far for Chris Cortez. It's exactly what the LA Blues want to do, though. They want to stretch out the Richmond Kickers, get that ball forward to Fondy, and then play a quick combination to get behind that back line.
Do it all by logging on to USLsoccer.com, the league's official website. USLsoccer.com.
Just a bit too much pace on the final ball on that last occasion. Now it's Richmond's turn to go forward, but Garcia's there once again. Ownby to head in the other direction. Oh, what a touch that was from Ownby. Asking for it back, Ownby. George Davis IV trying to get on the right side of him. Lee. Davies. Good ball clipped in. Good defending from Matthew Hall on the far side. Davies once again. And this is Lee in the 73rd minute. Turner will get there first. And Davies given time to turn, pick up his head, and look for options. Still time for Davies to take this space. Blues a bit reactionary at the moment. Allow the cross in. Right into the hands of Mohammadi once again, though. Catching practice for the 35-year-old. It's been that final ball for both sides, though. Not only from crosses, but set pieces as well. Just hasn't been there tonight. As Fondy goes down. Good battle between the two number 25s. Dykstra. Johnson. Davies with time in the middle once again. Matthew Hall read it all the way. And touch forward just to get it away from Johnson, but it will be a throw in for the Kickers in the 74th minute. Have moved the ball around well, the Kickers, from side to side, just haven't found that final ball. Way things are going, though, unless the Blues hit on a break, the Kickers look the more likely side to get that second goal. Davies. Shinosky. Nice little ball with the outside of the foot out wide. Good combinations to open up that lane for Johnson. However, his cross is blocked. Blues need to be shifting over a little bit quicker. And now it's Fondy 1-on-3 again. Leaves it off for Gonzalez. Picks his head up and waits for Lopez to join the party. George Davis IV is on the scene, and so is Turner. Lopez once again. And all the way back to Garcia. It's the Blues content to keep possession in the 76th minute. And look at the way Lopez makes a pass and then finds the ball again. This time spraying it to the other side for Cortez. Has Gonzalez arriving in the middle. That's a beautiful overlap. Don't think Hall was expecting that back pass, or that back heel rather. Oh, and that's nifty from Hall. Into the channel looking for George Davis IV. But Ownby reads the game so well. A space for Ownby. 2-on-2 going the other way. Out wide, back in for Ownby. Ownby's in. Mohammedi's off his line, and Ownby clips it over him and into the net for the equalizer. Brilliant counterattack from the Richmond Kickers, who are level in the 77th minute. And you could see that coming all the way. Brian Ownby with his 5th goal of the season. It was cool as you like as he deftly chipped it over the onrushing Mohammedi. And that forces Dariush Yazdani into a change. As Gabriel Gonzalez exit and Shea Spitz comes on for his first game since the June 15 match against the LA Galaxy Reserves. He's been out with a hamstring injury since. Fondy. Blues now, after all that sitting back and defending, have to push on and look for the winner. There will be no clean sheet today for the Blues, who give up just their 7th goal here at Titan Stadium this season. Oh, and Turner. Oh, and almost through. What a difference it makes when you try and go forward. Space for Ownby. Goal scorer clipping it through for Lee. And Lee actually hesitated, looking over to the referee's assistant to see if the flag was up. I think if he had just kept going, he might have caught up to it. Still, it's Richmond first, the majority of the balls. It's Lee. It's Dutch Jock stepping in. Russell doing just enough. Cortez has it taken off of him by Shinosky. And Hall able to keep it in on the far side. Hall barreling forward. Looking for some space to get the cross off Hall. Oh, and a handball, and the referee waves it off. Much to the dismay of the crowd, and Dariush Yazdani and assistant coach Steven Gonzalez are off the bench. Ownby quickly closed down, creates a little bit of space and lays it off. Now more space at the top of the box, but once again a poor finish. This time coming in from Nate Robinson. Really got to at least test the goalkeeper from there. I'm getting word that the referee, who had a better view of it, wasn't in fact not a handball if you take a look at the replay. So Mariscal gets that one right, and we continue here in the 80th minute. 1-1 between the LA Blues and the Richmond Kickers, who for the second consecutive game, the Kickers have come from behind to tie things up. And Ambitious spotting the keeper off his line. Very smart from Shea Spitz. David Beckham-esque try. Dykstra lucky not to be embarrassed in the end. Lee just unable to keep that one in bounds as we're inside the final 10 minutes at Titan Stadium. The LA Blues had taken a 5th-minute lead through Matthew Fondy. But then Brian Ownby tied things up with a delicate little chip over Mohamed Mohammadi on the breakaway in the 76th minute. As George Davis IV will leave the game. And coming on for him is Juan Perez Bernal, who scored the 88th minute equalizer when the LA Blues were trailing 1-0 in Richmond back on May 17th. Can he repeat his magic for the LA Blues against these Richmond Kickers? As Richmond looking to go for their 19th game unbeaten. Once again, it'd be a huge achievement considering that this is their 7th of an 8th game road trip and their 2nd game in 3 days. And another foul called behind the play and another chance for Richmond to float this ball into the box. Oh, Richmond thinking about taking it quickly. And instead, Davis says, let me tee this one up. 82nd minute now from Titan Stadium. The LA Blues, who held on for so long by letting Richmond play in front of them, giving up the equalizer on a counterattack. Delicately chipped in. Cleared away, and Matthew Fondy overtakes. 5-on-4 going the other way for the LA Blues. Skip pass over, looking for Shea Spitz. Oh, neatly brought down, but Spitz's cross is blocked by Lee. And Lee will just send it to safety. Oh, Spitz was so dangerous, especially in the 2 games against the LA Galaxy reserves. And he's looking in the mood here too. This one just skipping beyond his thigh. And a space really opening up here at Titan Stadium in the 83rd minute, as now it's Richmond's turn to go forward. Davies played it behind Robinson, who does well to keep it. Oh, he's really bossed the game since coming on at halftime, Philip Davies. Shinosky, one of 6 players bought on loan from DC United this season, Shinosky. Oh, and that's a good ball in, and that's a handball, and it will be called. That was a definite handball. I could see it up here on Elise Garcia. Nevertheless, LA Blues players irate as that ball came in, and always that question of whether it was ball to hand or hand to ball, but a certain handball on Garcia. And now the Richmond Kickers have a chance to take the lead in the 84th minute. So can Mohamed Mohammadi rescue the LA Blues? Alan Russell still arguing with the referee. And Mohamed Mohammadi coming up and standing right next to the penalty taker. Oh, so unlucky on Elise Garcia. Took an unfortunate bounce as it came in. Well, you have to give Richmond credit, fighting for that equalizer, continuing to push forward. For the LA Blues, though, they never went for the throat. They never really went to kill off this game. And now they're going to pay the price. As it looks to me like it's going to be David Bulow, 33-year-old Denver native who's hardly seen any action this year. A crucial moment in this game. 85th minute, Bulow versus Mohammadi. Long run up for Bulow. The whistle's gone, Bulow's still waiting. Now he comes. As cool as you like, puts it right down the middle while Mohammadi went to his left. And it's 2-1 Richmond. The Richmond Kickers can now move to within a point of the Orlando City Lions with a game in hand. Is David Bulow, who before coming on late and midway through this second half, had only played 4 minutes this season. A yellow card given to Alex Lee, I believe. Well, now it's up to the LA Blues to try and rescue a point. Trailing 2-1 on an 86-minute penalty from David Bulow after Elise Garcia had handled a long ball into the box. It was a speculative ball in, no real danger on, and yet it still hit Garcia's hand. So unlucky for the LA Blues, although they never went to close out this game. Well, the Blues got an 88th minute equalizer in Richmond. Can they do the same thing here at home? In danger of falling to just their third defeat at home this season. And all of Lee Kalishaw's substitutions at halftime really paying off for the Richmond Kickers. And Shea Spitz, who just came on, has to come off. But what a shame, as Shea Spitz looked dangerous. So coming in for him is Mikel Galindo. Another player who, like Matthew Fondy, just re-signed midway through the season. Galindo, of course, the former Cuban international with both Chivas USA and FC Dallas. As this ball sent in, Fondy unable to get to it. Russell. Hall. It's the goal scorer, Ownby, playing rather deep now. Oh, what a smart backheader. Bulow in midfield. Bernal steps in, and he'll be whistled for the foul. 88th minute now, heading into the 89th minute of play at Titan Stadium. Richmond Kickers with goals in the 76th and 86th minute have a 2-1 lead over the LA Blues. Russell playing it long, looking for Galindo. And Kalunji's going to let this one run all the way to his keeper, Dykstra. Quickly sent out to Lee. And Kalunji to Shane Johnson on the far side. Garcia with the header. Russell. Fondy with more good hold-up play, but he needs running off him. He gets it from Galindo. Former Cuban international looking to swing the ball in. Wrong side of Chris Cortez. Delicat's header back. The Bulow, the hero, will swing it out wide. And it's going to be a throw-in for the Blues, quickly taken. Cortez is onside. Cortez, little sombrero, quick shot. Frustration from Fondy, who wanted that ball. Of course, no offside on the throw-in, and the Blues have been very smart about that. Turner playing it to a player who runs into an offside position because there is no offside on the throw-in, and that's exactly where Cortez was able to be dangerous. That's where Fondy operated a lot against Antigua, and they were able to produce some goals. And what's going on now here? It's the referee conferring with his assistant referee about something. It's just going to be a goal kick in the end, as the clock has struck 90 minutes here at Titan Stadium. Is there any late game magic left in these LA Blues? As Richmond look well on their way to continuing their undefeated streak. Garcia gets it back to Mohammadi. 25 seconds into injury time now. Cortez flicks it on. Bernal. Nifty skill from him to get it over to Galindo. Good tracking back, but a foul is called on Ownby. Once again, I don't think that was a foul. Kind of fouls that Mari Skull's been calling all day. And it could perhaps give the LA Blues a lifeline. A minute into stoppage time. Lopez, Fondy's there, unable to reach it. So he was trying to put it back across goal this time. Served in a bit too deep from Rodrigo Lopez. As it looks like the LA Blues' 4-game winning streak is going to come to an end. Delicate, nice touch to bring it down. Richmond passing and moving the ball so well, and that's going to be the second yellow card on Alan Russell. So a red card for the captain, who will now not feature against Charlotte. It'll be the first game that he hasn't played in all season. And that's more of a frustration foul than anything from the captain. And Russell had to go 2 similar type tackles, equaling 2 yellow cards. Not the best time to make that challenge either. So we want to remind you to stay with us after this game ends here on USL Nation via Liquid Event TV, as we will run down to the field and get interviews and player reactions after this game. It looks like it's going to be a 2-1 win for the Richmond Kickers, as the LA Blues are now down to 10 men deep into stoppage time. And this one just played into the corner over Hall. The whistle goes against Robinson. Wasn't given any confirmation on how much stoppage time there would be. We're about 2.5 minutes in as this one goes over the head of Johnson. Bernal flicks it forward. And safety first from the Richmond Kickers. Everybody getting forward for the LA Blues now. All 9 outfield players in the Richmond Kickers half. As Turner's going to fling this one into the box. Can the Blues find a late equalizer? Cleared away by Richmond. Dutch Jock looking to turn Delicate. Can he get the cross off? And just like most of the crossing from both teams tonight, it's very, very poor in the end. Dykstra will no doubt take his time. Kalungi asking him how much more stoppage time is left. What a turnaround in this second half. From 1-0 down to 2-1 up, the Richmond Kickers look set to go to 11-0-8 on the season. The play goes on. And once again, just cleared by Ownby. Matthew Hall plays it quickly. Cortez, they need to get proper service in the box. This isn't a bad ball over Dutch Jock. Good shielding by Alex Lee, but it will be another throw-in for the LA Blues. Lopez, bit of a heavy touch, now needs to escape the attention of Davis. Hall under some pressure. Not a bad ball in, but too deep and easy for Dykstra. Dykstra throws it out to Ownby. Score of that equalizer, Ownby. Now needs to just get it to the corner. That's exactly where he's heading with it. 23-year-old dispossessed by Garcia. And Garcia needs to get it forward. Lopez. Galindo. Last chance saloon for the LA Blues here, deep in stoppage time. Cortez. Fondy in the box. Dutch Jock getting up there as well. It's a deep cross. Bernal brings it down and goes down. And no foul called, and rightly so. Now acres of space for Ownby. Cortez sprinting back. But that will do it. The Richmond Kickers with a second half comeback will take all 3 points. It's Matthew Fondy opening the scoring for the LA Blues in the 5th minute. But then in the second half, it was all Richmond, and they get their just rewards. A 76th-minute equalizer from Ownby on the counterattack, and then a penalty kick from David Bulow inside the final 5 minutes. And the Richmond Kickers are now just 1 point behind USL Pro leaders Orlando City, and they have a game in hand as they improve to 11-0-8. For the Los Angeles Blues, their 4-game winning streak is over, and they fall to 9-7-5 on this season. So they are going to have to really fight in these last 5 games to cement their spot in the playoffs. Up next for the LA Blues, they will head to the Carolinas for a match on the 24th against Charlotte and then the 27th against Charleston. They'll be back here throughout August. Their final 3 games, August 3rd against the Harrisburg City Islanders, the 8th against the Charleston Battery, and the 17th against the Rochester Rhinos. And all of those matches can be seen right here on USL Nation via Liquid Event TV. Well, we're done here in the booth, but we're not done here on USL Nation. Stay with us as I'm going to run down and try and grab some players for post-game reaction. It finishes here. The LA Blues 1 and the Richmond Kickers 2.